Dearest Chaverot, at this very pivotal moment in Jewish history, where we seem to be coming closer and closer to the footsteps of Mashiach, perhaps we even hear them in the background, I want to share with you a thought that gives me tremendous chizuk on a daily basis. Maybe subconsciously, it's my oxygen. When we were sitting Shiva for our precious daughter, Uchama Aleh Shalom, Bat Harav Naftali Halevi Shlita, Reb Shmuel Birnbaum Zatzal, the Mirror Rosh Hashiva, came to be Menachem Avalos. The door opened, and this Prince of Torah, who was just effervescent with Torah, and yes, miraculously with Simcha, entered. A man who, La Aleinu, lost 2 sons. La Aleinu. I stood quietly on the side and listened. Reb Shmuel Birnbaum Zatzal said that he always had a kasha that bothered him tremendously. We learn growing up that when the Malachei Ashores saw Yitzchak Avinu bound on the Mizbeach, about to be slaughtered, their eyes dripped with tears. The tears fell into his eyes, and later, at the end of his life, Yitzchak Avinu was blind from those tears. Obviously, a very mystical medrash. Reb Shmuel Birnbaum Zatzal said that the precise lashon of Chazal is that the Malachei Ashores, they opened up the windows of Shamayim, they craned their necks to look out of the window and see Yitzchak bound on the altar, on the Mizbeach. The Yitzchak about whom the Rebbeinu Shalom said to Avram Avinu, "Beyitzchak yikarei lecha zera." It is in Yitzchak that the whole future of Am Yisrael, around which the future of the world spins, it all depends on Yitzchak. And now he's about to slaughter him because dearer to Avram Avinu, dearer than anything, was doing the Ratzon of Hashem, the will of Hashem of the moment. Why did the angels have to open up the windows of Shamayim to behold this sight? Without opening up the windows, the Mir Rosh Hashiva Zatzal asked, they wouldn't be able to behold it? He answered that if they would have looked at this worldly reality from the heavenly view, they would have not shed tears. From the aerial view, as I like to think of it, where past, present, and future are all one, the Malachei Ashores would have perceived in an instant that the reality of Yitzchak being bound on the Mizbeach is exactly as it has to be. Perfect, symmetrical. It's futuristic when David HaMelech says, Lahagid ki yashar Hashem, tzuri velo avlata bo. In Kapitel Tzaddik Beis, in the 92nd Tehillim, Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat, according to some Mefarshim, it's speaking about the Yom Shekulo Shabbat, the future to come. Only then will we be able lahagid, Rebbeinu Shalom, you are yashar, symmetrical, perfect. Velo avlata bo, du hast uns nicht bearvelt. There's nothing crooked, nothing wrong, nothing deviant in what you meted out to us as the individual or the klal, the whole. So, but when they wanted to view it from this worldly perspective, they opened up the windows and craned their necks, so to speak. And in this world, when we see tragic realities, we cry. We cry. It occurred to me that the fact that the Malachim cried when they looked at it from this worldly perspective, that validates our crying. The word malach means a shliach. They have no independent thought, feeling. If they cried at the prospect of Am Yisrael being slaughtered, of course we, you and I, dearest Chaverot, who are stuck in the here and now, and the mysteries and the darkness, of course we cry. It's not a stira to our emunah to be in touch with our feelings of pain, of mystery, of anguish. The word bechi in Lashon HaKodesh, in the Rebbeinu Shalom's language, is related to the word navochu, ki navochu hem ba'aretz, confusion. They are confused. When we cry, there's a sense of inner existential confusion. Where am I? How could I go on? How could this be? And in this world we cry. The Maharal Miprag tells us that the most important word in our vocabulary as Yidden, Emunah, faith, Emunah, Emunah, is of feminine gender grammatically. It ends with a kamatz he. Why is the word Emunah of feminine gender? He answers, because Jewish history has proven that in times of murky darkness, when Am Yisrael felt like they couldn't go on, like there was no future, as the women in Mitzrayim, we women, our emunah was steadfast, even-keeled. Midata hishtavut, completely on an even keel. We said, no, we have to bring children into the world in Mitzrayim. Am Yisrael chai. Like the word rechem, womb, the Maharal says. If you rearrange the letters, you get the word machal. We carry the machal. We believe that there's a machal. We know that there's a machal. We know that this is not the last stop. Death is only a mechitza. Like it says, like Moshe Rabbeinu says in Ha'azinu, the Rebbeinu Shalom says, Ani machatzti va'arapeh. I smashed, which is an allusion to death, and I will heal. Chazal say the word machatzti can be read as mechitzati. Death is a mechitza. It's a temporary mechitza. And we feel it, and we have to feel it. And Chazal were kovea the halachot of avelut, so that we do experience all the healthy feelings that we need to experience. It's a new battle every day. Every day in this galus is a new battle to deepen and nurture our emunah. In different places in Tanakh, we have the expression Yom Yom, loosely translated as daily. And there's a dash between the two words, Yom Yom. That dash connotes that one day is not like the other. For example, by Yosef Hatzadik and Eshes Potifar, it says that she inveigled him Yom Yom, and there's a dash. It means that his nisayon was different and new every day. In fact, Chazal tell us that his nisayon changed from hour to hour. She would change her clothes and the nisayon was different. In Tehillim, David HaMelech tells us, Baruch Hashem, Yom Yom. Rebbeinu Shalom, I thank you every day. And again, there is that same significant dash between the words Yom Yom. What this means is that it's an acknowledgement that just like Rebbeinu Shalom, every day, it's a different battlefield called today. Baruch Hashem Yom Yom, I thank you, Rebbeinu Shalom, today, because I know that you're not going to leave me. And how many days do I get myself out of bed reviewing this? Get out of bed. Don't be afraid. Today is a new battlefield called today. Today was never here since Briat HaOlam, since the creation of the world. The Rebbeinu Shalom is going to give you new physical, emotional, ruchnius tools that you didn't have yesterday for the battlefield called today. Ein HaKadosh Baruch Hu ba b'tunyam briotav. The Rebbeinu Shalom doesn't play with his creance. That's how we have to greet the day. Yom Yom, he outfits you and I with customized tools for the battlefield called today. And that's why David HaMelech says, Baruch Hashem, Yom Yom. I was sitting with my father Zitzal one day, Reb Shlomo Freifeld, Zchuto Yagen Aleinu. Now, many years later, I realized that he was preparing me for the moment that he would leave the world. He said to me, mein Kind, we have to be po'alei diyemama. We have to be day laborers. Po'alei diyemama, laborers who work by day, is a term defining them in contradistinction to laborers that work at night, such as the night guard. I said, Abba, what do you mean that we have to be po'alei diyemama, day laborers? My father Zitzal explained, you know, until Mashiach comes, there's so much darkness. Every day brings darkness. Olam hazeh dome lelayla. This world is compared to darkness. The galus, the exiles, compared to darkness. Ve'emunascha baleilot. We tenaciously cling to your emunah in the darkness of galus, and it seems to be getting darker as we get closer to Mashiach. We have to wake up in the morning, he said, and perceive ourselves. Our mission, our avodah, is to be po'alei diyemama. We have to labor to find the daylight. Darkness, it's thick, it's obtuse. Sometimes I think it's getting to be like vayamesh choshech. You can almost touch the darkness, like in the makat choshech. There's so much pain, so much mystery, so much tears. We recuperate from one tidal wave. The Rebbetzin Shalom allows us to come up from air, and then there is another. Our avodah is to keep on learning Torah as women, in whatever modality suits us best, to make sure that there's inspiration that could nurture our emunah, so that we could wake up every day and say, today I'm going to be po'alei diyemama. I will labor to find the daylight. I'm going to struggle to say, Rebbetzin Shalom, what can I thank you for? What are the chasadim? What are the acts of loving kindness, large and small? V'haba letahel misayin beyado. The one who struggles to upgrade, to give the Rebbetzin Shalom nachas, to find the daylight midst the tears. It's clear to me, I speak from the trenches, sadly, that the Rebbetzin Shalom helps us to find the daylight. Sheibane Beis HaMikdash bimheira biyameinu. May the Rebbetzin Shalom rebuild the Beis HaMikdash quickly in our day. The Sfas Emes Zchuto Yagen Aleinu teaches us that biyameinu, the prefix be, can only also mean with, not just in our day, but with our day. Like Yaakov Avinu said, I captured the city of Shechem, bicharbi, with my sword. What does it mean? May the Rebbetzin Shalom rebuild the Beis HaMikdash quickly with our day. It means that with your struggle and mine, to deepen our emunah, to subordinate our intellect, to say, here, Rebbetzin Shalom, here's my sechel. I don't understand, but you are Avinu Avarachaman. You're holding me. Achasta beyad yamini. You're constantly with me. Like David HaMelech says in Kapitel Ayin Gimel, Va'ani ba'ar velo eda, behemot hayiti imach. David HaMelech in that kapitel says, my feet almost went off the right track. How is it that tzaddikim suffer and the wicked seem to prosper? Va'ani kimat natayu raglai, my feet almost went off the right track. He had that question too. And then David HaMelech says, Va'ani ba'ar velo eda. I'm a senseless boar. I can't penetrate your plan, Rebbetzin Shalom. Behemot hayiti imach. I'm like a mute animal, like a shepsela, like a sheep that you lead me. But simultaneous with subordinating his intellect, David HaMelech says, Va'ani tamid imach. Achasta b'yad yamini. Rabbanu Shalom, I'm always with you. You hold my right hand. Shibaneh beis hamikdash bimhera biyamenu v'sein chalkenu b'soirasecha.